don't know what's next. But that's kind of exciting.
You're clearly the licensed game kings at this point. Is that a trend you want to keep going?
I don't know really. We never saw it with Batman for sure as a negative thing, because it's such a great universe and it's such a rich universe, and that we always felt like very honoured to be able to work in it. But I don't think that, I think it would have to be the right license that we felt we could, contribute to in that way. But I don't think we necessarily wouldn't do original IP at it either. I don't think there's a conscious decision to do that. But I think whatever it is, it needs to have that kind of richness, that, that level of detail, that lore that, that Batman has. So good luck finding that, I guess.
Have you ever heard of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Sounds interesting.
Can you rule that out at this
Tell
point?
me more. I can officially rule that out, yes.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is Slick or Slickmoff here, back again with another video. And the videos recently have been receiving incredible support. Please drop a like on this video if you've been enjoying the daily uploads over the past couple of weeks. As I said, last two videos, yesterday, both 1,000 views in 30 minutes, hundreds and hundreds of likes, amazing support on those videos. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel and the daily upload content. Okay, so let's get into the video topic for the day. And I would like to thank Marcel, Salvage1009. We've been doing a lot of dual comms recently. His channel also has been doing incredibly well, and he's been getting a lot of support on all of his videos. I like them every time that they come up. I physically like them. I also just enjoy the videos. So check out my Twitter to see his, or just go to his channel if you want to check out some of his videos on Superman and Spider-Man, etc. So he's the one that actually found this, and he talked about it in his most recent video titled New Superman Game, Why Rocksteady is Making This Game. I'll link that in the description below to get his opinions and theories on that. So the clip that I played for you at the beginning of the video, this is Sefton Hill talking in an interview when Arkham Knight was being released, about a few weeks before release of Arkham Knight. And he was asked, of course, as you saw, whether they're making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And he outright denies it. And it's incredible that the theory persists today, this is now 4 years later, of people saying that they're making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. When Sefton Hill, the game director, head honcho basically, at Rocksteady, came out and confirmed that they're not making that. So clearly Rocksteady is not making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and it's amazing that nobody else found this besides Salvage. This interview I saw back in 2014 and 2015, when Arkham Knight was about to come out. Did I say 2014? I meant to say 2015 is when the interview came out. Sorry, it was 3 years ago, not 4. In any case, you know what I mean. It's amazing that nobody went back and revisited this interview and was like, hey, although there's all these theories going around, or a lot of people are getting their hopes up that Rocksteady is making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, they've outright denied that they're making the game. Later in the interview, actually earlier, Sefton Hill also is asked about whether he would do individual IP. And they talk about how they would not necessarily be opposed to creating their own IP, but it would have to be incredibly compelling. It would need to have an expansive universe with lore filled and that kind of thing. Basically, he says they wouldn't be opposed to it per se, because Rocksteady has done individual IP in the past. Their first game was a third-person shooter game. That was their own IP. However, it would have to be really, really compelling. And basically what he said is that it seems that they would be more willing to do a third-party title like Superman or Batman than to create their own IP. This makes sense for a number of reasons. In the case of Batman, you have 75 years of history and lore to choose from and cherry pick. You leave out the stuff you don't like, you take the stuff that you do. And that's very simple how it works. Superman, you have 80 years of long history, and you have all of these great characters to work with, this great universe, and most importantly, perhaps, you have a universe that people are familiar with. You know that they have some level of working knowledge in the Superman universe. Everybody does. And this simply drives sales, first of all. A Superman game is going to sell more than a Rocksteady third-party IP game. Guaranteed. 10 out of 10 every day of the week. That is just what happens. And it makes sense because people love the character of Superman, whereas we don't necessarily love these characters that Rocksteady has created if they create an individual IP, because we don't know them. We have to be introduced to them. We have to fall in love with them, which is much, much harder to do in a 6-hour story campaign compared to 80 years of history and cultural icons, being the cultural icon that he is, etc. Okay, so this makes sense for a number of reasons. So financially, it clearly makes more sense to do a DC IP. Creatively, I would argue that it does make more sense this way. The only way in which I would agree that it would not be the most convenient for Rocksteady to create their own IP as opposed to use Superman would be in the gameplay department. Creating a Superman game will be incredibly challenging and difficult. It will far and away be the most, the biggest creative challenge Rocksteady will have faced up to this point. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Zero question. Third-person shooter game that's their own IP, and Batman. Batman was a lot to undergo. Stories from like the Arkham photo book that I read a while ago, some guy spent like 9 months developing just the cape mechanics, so like just how the cape flowed in the air took him like almost a year of designing just that, right? So you understand that the breadth of making a Batman game is incredibly challenging. So take that and make a Batman that has superpowers, right? That can fly around and melt people. Batman can't do that. Okay, so there's no doubt about it. Like, it would be much easier for them to make some first-person shooter or third-person shooter game or first-person shooter game like they did before the Arkham series than it would be to make a Superman game in regards to gameplay creatively. But in regards to crafting a story, having great characters, financially, if you're looking at financial sales and that kind of thing, it makes the most amount of sense for them to do some DC property, whether it be Superman, Green Arrow, Flash, etc. The leaks at this point all seem to suggest it's Superman. Who knows where that's come from? A lot of it comes from 4chan. Inside sources haven't really said all that much about it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think it is one of those things where it's sort of, tumbled out of control a little bit in the sense that like a few people start saying it's Superman and then everybody runs with it. Myself included. I'm not saying I don't do that. I mean, everybody gets excited. But I mean this to say that it's possible that they could be doing something else, as in not Superman. But do I think they're making an individual IP? Based off of Sefton Hill's answers, first of all, he shot down Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then it pivoted to individual IP, which you make your own IP, make your own franchise. And Sefton Hill, once again, seemed very reluctant to accept this. He said, well, I hadn't really thought about it, but if it's really convincing, I guess maybe. But this begs the question, Rocksteady and Sefton Hill both individually have stated that their dream game is a Superman game. This is the game that they want to make. And given that this is the case, are they really going to value an individual IP over spending the next several years making the game that they really want to make, which is a Superman game, and they've wanted to make even more so than the Batman Arkham franchise? Rocksteady and Batman Arkham, they just go together. They're like one and the same. Everybody relates the one to the other. But the Batman Arkham games, really, from what Rocksteady has said, were made out of convenience more so than a necessary, being their dream game per se. They've said that their dream game is a Superman game, even more so than Batman. So the Batman Arkham games are, the incredible pieces of video games that they are. But it's not necessarily the sort of peak of their drive, of what they really want to make. And it's been 3 years now. They've clearly been working on the game for a while. Granted, they did have Arkham VR, which I will suspect will delay the progress of the Superman game, undoubtedly. But nonetheless, one can hope for a reveal at E3 in a few weeks, or, down the line whenever they feel comfortable revealing it, whether it be Superman or something like that. I think it would be an incredible mistake, in my judgment, for them to do an individual IP. Because especially after the Arkham Knight DLC shebang, there was a lot of people, myself for a period, I've now conceded this point, but for a lot of people, really were anti-Rocksteady, suspicious of their future games. Many people I know today are still planning to boycott Rocksteady's next game, simply on the premise of how they handled the Season Pass and the lack of content therein. Also, a lot of people really did not like Batman Arkham Knight. That's not, I wouldn't say the majority of people, but there are some people that say it's terrible. My next door neighbor, in fact, we were talking about it. He didn't even get through the first hour. He hated the Batmobile insanely. Once again, I'm not of this opinion. Most people watching this video are probably not, but some people are. Some people really were turned off by Rocksteady as a whole and the Batman Arkham franchise with Batman Arkham Knight, and even more so the Arkham Knight Season Pass. So I say all of this to say that really, I don't know if Rocksteady has the creds yet to make their own big IP. The Batman Arkham games are renowned. People love them. But that's just really their main success. Can you name other games Rocksteady has made? And no, Batman Arkham VR doesn't count because that's a Batman game. You know what I mean? They need to build a reputation in some other way before they can move on to individual IP. And I think that making an excellent Superman trilogy would be a great way to pave the way to that. If they really wanted to go down that route, they certainly could after that. But, you know, I think right now their best choice is definitely going the route of Superman or The Flash or Green Arrow or something in that direction. And one can hope that that is the direction they'll take. And E3 is less than 2 weeks away, so here's to hoping that we will find out then. Okay, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you did, my name is Slickmoff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.